Right now at 5, police are on the hunt for a suspect accused of robbing a bank in Joplin.
We've got a pretty decent day lined up for us ahead of increasing shower and thunderstorm chances. We'll have a look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, volunteers in Joplin take the time to clean the graves of those who served our country.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Elise Snowy.
I'm Chris Warner. It is Monday. It is also Cinco de Mayo.
Yes, it is. That's always a fun one.
It is. Of course, now with it falling on a Monday, make sure you celebrate responsibly.
Yeah,
you got to celebrate over the weekend anytime,
yeah.
But just more so because I don't think you're going to get tomorrow off. And the boss is going to be mighty suspicious if you call in.
There's other ways to celebrate.
There certainly are other ways to celebrate. Yeah. And we're going to have a pretty decent day, even if just, Cinco de Mayo for you is just going to work like we are and enjoying the afternoon. That's still a great May day as it is. And today's going to be a fantastic one. Let's start with that look outside in downtown Pittsburgh. It is dark outside, and it is typically dark outside at this hour because, well, the sun hasn't risen yet. And if by any reason it was bright outside at this hour, we might have a problem with the weather. But thankfully, it is dark. The skies, though, are clear. However, we do have some patchy fog, which I'll show you in just a moment. MoDOT camera 20th at Rangeline, also looking pretty good this morning as we get this day underway. So again, no dense fog advisories, but we do have some patchy fog. Miami Grove, around the Iola area, that does stretch into Joplin. And then, of course, you get in some of those rural routes as well. My way up here didn't run anything super dense, but did run into some patchy fog. It was a little dense out there. So just slow down. You know the drill. Low beams, not your high beams. Make sure you give yourself time to get wherever it is you're going this morning. Into the afternoon we go. There's what we consider mostly clear skies. We'll have clear skies to start, and then into the afternoon we'll start to see a few additional clouds out there, and even into the evening hours, and that'll leave us partly cloudy, maybe even briefly mostly cloudy for some of you, but otherwise partly cloudy skies that will then turn around again and clear out overnight tonight. Temperatures this morning, we're sitting at 45 in Joplin, 46 in Pittsburgh, so a bit on the it's chilly side, especially now considering it's May. This is pretty cool. Iola, the warm spot right now, sitting at 50. The rest of us, for the most part, right around the mid-40s to get our day underway. We're looking at highs, not bad, into the upper 60s, low 70s. Again, partly cloudy skies into the afternoon and evening, and our winds will be light and variable through the day. As I mentioned, though, rain chances begin to increase as we head into Tuesday. We'll take a look at those rain chances and the work week ahead here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
Chris, thanks. Well, Joplin police are on the hunt for a man suspected of robbing a bank in Joplin. Around 11 a.m. Saturday morning, a white mask with a red and white striped bandana, entered the Commerce Bank at 1820 East 20th and gave a note to the teller. Reports say he enacted to the teller that he had a weapon. Captain Austin Wolf of the Joplin Police Department says the male left the bank with an undisclosed amount of money. Police are working to gather images from the bank security cameras. The suspect is described as a white male with bushy, curly brown hair. He was wearing a mask in the form of a red and white striped bandana. He was also wearing a dark colored hoodie and pants. He is also said to have various tattoos. A 23-month-old girl from Joplin dies in a crash near Goodman on I-49 Saturday evening. I-49 traffic was detoured for 4 hours as the patrol's major crash investigation unit gathered data, analyzed, and mapped the scene. Troopers say a Honda Accord struck the rear of a tractor trailer that was stopped on the interstate. Traffic was halted as dogs were in the road and deputies were attempting to catch them. The 22-year-old female driver from Joplin suffered minor injuries. The passenger, a 23-month-old girl, was pronounced deceased at the Freeman Neo show. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Well, Saturday marked the 4th annual VFW National Day of Service. As a part of this day, VFW Post 534 hosted a cleanup of the Peace Church Cemetery to honor the soldier laid to rest there. Following the cleanup, American flags were placed on the graves of the soldiers. The VFW National Day of Service offers veterans a chance to continue serving our country after their time in the military.
All of us are here to put remembrance on most of these gravestones, because even though we could be out doing whatever, most of us are here to give veterans that haven't had anyone around in a while.
Around 15 volunteers from the VFW and the Joplin JROTC came out to volunteer. Well, an Oklahoma-based nonprofit is giving back to local veterans. KOAM's Mitch Adams has more.
We just want to show a little bit of gratitude back to them that we live in a country where we're free to do things like this.
Veterans pay an ultimate sacrifice to keep our country free, oftentimes without appreciation. A nonprofit in Oklahoma named Flagpoles Honoring Our Veterans strives to show gratitude for those who served our nation.
We pay for everything out of pocket, our motel room, our fuel, our lodging, whatever it is, we pay out of pocket, and we come up and do this. We're spending the whole weekend up here, and we're going to break a feat of 24 flagpoles in one day.
24 installations in one day is not an average day's work for the group, but showing appreciation for veterans in the area is something they feel a need to accomplish.
When we show up to them and shake their hand and tell them thank you, I like to give a welcome home to them. I had one man I said that to, and he burst into tears and said that's the first time I've heard that since I returned home.
To this crew, it's not about the work you put in, it's about the feeling that comes out.
Seeing the look on their face and how it affects them, and it touches you. It does, and it makes everything worth the while.
In Miami, Oklahoma, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
Flagpoles Honoring Our Veterans has honored over 600 veterans since the group started in 2020. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes, coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Crowder softball plays in the Region 16 championship. We'll have the details. Plus, Cardinals participate in the 9th and last morning mass for Pope Francis yesterday. And we have a nice and partly cloudy day today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
Crowder College softball is having an incredible season. The program is riding a 19-game win streak. Now Sunday, the Rough Riders look to become Region 16 champions for the 4th straight year. Crowder taking on Three Rivers Community College in the championship. In the third, it's tied 2-2. Maya Curry starts off the inning with a nice little single to left. So we head to the next batter. Jasmine Myers drops a single of her own into left, so the Rough Riders have the inning set up. A little later, Curry comes home on a wild pitch, but here's the real blow. Taylor Lundian, high and deep to center. That ball is long gone, and Crowder takes the 5-2 lead, and it's pandemonium at the plate. It's starting to sink in for Crowder. Now in the 7th, the Raiders are down to their final out. Jessica Smith strikes out the batter. Rough Riders win 5-2. They're Region 16 champs for the 4th straight year, and they're moving on to districts.
The mindset is just, Crowder has a great tradition. We just wanted to keep that going and, play our game. Today I thought we did a really good job of using short game early on and just sticking to our game plan. And just that's what it's been all year. Just execute, do what we need to do.
In the major leagues, the Royals and Cardinals each have matchups on Sunday. KC is in Baltimore looking for its 4th straight series win. The Royals take on the Orioles in the rubber match, and Michael Garcia starts things off with a bang. That's far gone to left, and the Royals take the 1-0 lead. Head to the 5th inning, and it's a tie game until Jonathan India gets a hold of this one. That just gets over the wall and left, and Kansas City takes the lead again. But Royals trail in the 6th until Garcia hits another bomb. It's in the same spot as last time, and it's gone. It's tied up again. In the 7th, the Royals look to pad their lead. Vinny Pasquantino Pulls one to right, another home run for KC. The Royals hit a franchise record 7 home runs and take down the Orioles 11-6. The Cardinals face the Mets in Game 1 of their doubleheader. In the second, Mets lead by 1. Jose Azocar flies one past the infield. It looks like it's no man's land, but Nolan Gorman makes the sliding catch. So we head to the bottom of the inning, and with one swing of the bat, Wilson Contreras ties it up with the Oppo Taco. In the fourth, it's tied 2-2, bases loaded, 2 outs, and Brendan Donovan hits it right back up the middle and through for the single. 2-run score. Cards have the bases loaded again. This time, Contreras singles past the diving Jeff McNeil. St. Louis has a 4-run lead, and they hold on for the 6-5 win, taking down the Mets in Game 1. And the Redbirds take down one of baseball's hottest teams again. This time it's 5-4. So it's a perfect day for Missouri teams. Both the Royals and Cardinals will look to continue their winning streaks today at home. Well, still to come, we're going to see why the new EPA plans targeting forever chemicals in water is raising serious red flags. Plus, going to check that forecast, talking about some rain chances on the way when we come back. Welcome back, excuse me, to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:16 now on this Monday morning. We're starting with the fog tracker. And as I mentioned, we don't have any dense fog advisories because we don't have widespread fog across the area, but we do have some reduced visibilities out there. Miami, Joplin, Anderson, Grove, up around Iola as well. So again, when you're traveling this morning, you know the drill. Low beams, not your high beams, fog lights if you've got them, and just also watch out for some areas where the fog may suddenly become a little more dense as you travel because again, my journey up here, you don't really see much on the fog tracker, but I ran into a couple of areas of somewhat dense fog. So just be cautious as you're traveling this morning. We have rain chances. Not today, though. Today's going to be great. Of course, it's Monday, but we also had a pretty nice weekend. I don't know about anybody else, but I got out there, enjoyed it, did some rummage sailing. Fantastic weekend to do that. I love collecting things I don't need, and it was a great weekend to do that. Today, also a great day to collect things you don't need because the next few days, it's going to start to rain. We're going to have partly cloudy skies as we head into the evening and the afternoon and evening hours, really. Then we'll clear out again overnight, have clear skies tonight. Then we'll have mostly clear skies to start our Tuesday. We start dry, and then as we head the late morning into the afternoon, we start to see the clouds increase. We start to see our rain chances increase. And we're looking at scattered showers and thunderstorms as we head through the day on Tuesday, overnight into the morning hours on Wednesday, even a few extra storms possible overnight Wednesday into early Wednesday morning. And then we'll head into our Wednesday, more scattered storms. These will be a bit more scattered, so not everybody necessarily will see rain throughout the whole day. Otherwise, it'll be cloudy. It'll be a little cooler. And again, we'll continue with those scattered storms through the afternoon and evening hours on our Wednesday. At this point, the good news is there's nothing in the data that is screaming severe. We're just looking at showers and storms. Excuse me. As we head into Thursday, could be a strong storm or two, but again, at this point, nothing screaming severe, which is fantastic. We've had enough of that. Unfortunately, though, of course, we are still in severe weather season, so we want to certainly keep an eye on future thunderstorm chances as well. But today, nothing to keep an eye on except knowing where your sunglasses are for your morning commute. Sunny skies, low 50s to start, and we're looking at about 65 by 11 o'clock this morning. Heading into the afternoon, we're at 68 by noon, 73 is our high, and low 70s for the region. We'll be about 73 by 4 with, again, those partly cloudy skies. Winds will be light and variable. Winds will continue to be light and variable overnight. It only says calm here because the entire phrase of light and variable doesn't fit down there. And if we just put L and V, that might be confusing because then it looks like we're punching in Roman numerals for a wind speed. And we're not that crazy. And I also don't know my Roman numerals that well. Low 50s again overnight, some upper 40s. So another chilly evening ahead of us as well. As we, again, into the next few days, scattered showers and storms working in as we go late morning into the afternoon, Tuesday through the day, Wednesday into Thursday. Should come to a close Friday morning. And then if you're doing some rummage sailing or just enjoying the weekend, got another great one ahead of us. That leads into next Monday. Warmer, though, upper 70s, maybe some low 80s with additional shower and thunderstorm chances next week. Let's check your forecast. We're back with Health Watch right after this.
Well, topping Health Watch this morning. Powerful punches are helping Coloradans fight Parkinson's. Maggie Wolanski has the story.
Keep tapping, nice guys.
Starting slow.
So you're stepping to that wall, reach to that wall.
Because Delisa Novak knows how important this workout class is.
Out. Nice and big. Nice and big.
Helping this group.
All right, can you get those feet going?
Get ready.
A little quicker, go.
For their power punches.
It's a lot of fun to come and just beat up the bag, man.
Stuart Cosgrove can strike and sing at the same time. But he's also fighting back against what can be a debilitating disease.
Can't drive anymore, so just in a wheelchair now.
He's surrounded by others who also join him in this fight.
Before Parkinson's, I was at a gym. This is a much harder workout.
Besides breaking a sweat, this class is helping to improve strength and balance.
Nice, Bob. Good.
I would say that I'm remarkably different than I was when I first came in here. What do you remember, Kelly? I couldn't walk in. I was using my sticks.
Giving support through exercise is why Parkinson Association of the Rockies offers classes like this for free.
There isn't a cure. Exercise is the one thing proven to slow the progression of Parkinson's.
And teacher Delisa also sees how the class helps form connections.
The need for not only the motor symptoms of Parkinson's, but the non-motor symptoms as well. Getting out to these exercise classes can really help to build that support system, because you're surrounded by people who may be going through a lot of the same similar things.
It certainly got people hooked.
Definitely every week.
Because these fighters,
Just kicking Ferguson's butt,
aren't just rolling with life's punches.
Made all the difference in the world to be able to come in here.
Public health experts have raised serious concerns about the EPA's new plans targeting PFAS chemicals. Now, these types of chemicals contaminate drinking water and are called forever chemicals because they don't break down in the environment. They accumulate in our bodies and have been linked to health problems, including various types of cancer. The Biden EPA took steps to effectively require water systems to remove PFAS from tap water by 2029. Industry groups sued over the new rules. Experts are concerned because under the Trump EPA's new plans, it's not clear if the agency will defend the rules, rescind them, revise them, or uphold them. The Department of Health and Human Services is investigating $500 million in hopes to create a universal flu vaccine. The project hopes to develop a shot that can protect against multiple virus strains, including bird flu. The vaccine is being worked on in-house at the National Institutes of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. Researchers are using older technology that delivers an entire virus that's been chemically tweaked so it can't infect human cells. Now, this type of vaccine tends to create long-lasting protection by giving the body a chance to develop antibodies to many parts of a virus. However, the U.S. previously moved away from this technique because of side effects and adverse reactions. Well, every 40 seconds, someone in the U.S. has a stroke, according to the American Heart Association. Now, getting medical care quickly is critical and could mean the difference between life and death. Mandy Gaither has the subtle signs of stroke that everyone should know in honor of Stroke Awareness Month.
It's a medical emergency when blood flow to the brain is disrupted, causing brain cells to die. It can lead to disability or even death. In the U.S., someone dies of stroke every 3 minutes and 11 seconds.
Our mantra is time is brain, and every minute really counts.
Dr. Jonathan Salamano with Cleveland Clinic says the phrase "be fast" can help you remember the subtle signs of stroke and what to do. B stands for balance if there's a sudden loss of coordination or dizziness. E is for eyes if there's unexpected vision loss or changes. F is for face. Facial drooping is a potential symptom. A, arm numbness or weakness on one side of the body. S is for speech. Slurred speaking or difficulty communicating or understanding could be a sign. Finally, T is time to call 911.
Those are all signs and symptoms that should be concerning.
Salamano says stroke risk rises with age, but it can happen to anyone. In fact, a CDC report found the number of young people having strokes is increasing. That's why knowing risk factors is key. Your chances for stroke increase if you have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, obesity, if you smoke or abuse substances.
Oftentimes, young adults don't get their annual physical exams or might have undiagnosed conditions like blood pressure or high cholesterol that places them at increased risk.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The American Heart Association says having a heart-healthy lifestyle can also help lower risk of a number of health issues, including stroke. That includes eating a balanced, healthy diet like the Mediterranean diet and getting regular exercise. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we've got a pretty decent day lined up for us today, ahead of some rain chances. Another look at your forecast when we come back.
Right now at 5:30, KCU Joplin celebrates the graduation of some future doctors.
And we're looking at a pretty nice Monday out there, following a pretty nice weekend as well. But there are some rain chances on the way. We'll talk about that. The forecast gets you out the door coming up.
Plus, local students team up with Special Olympics for a first-of-its-kind basketball camp.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:30. I'm Elise Snowy.
I'm Chris Warner. It's Monday here in the 4 states, and for those celebrating, it's also Cinco de Mayo. So, of course, if you are celebrating, do so responsibly.
Yes.
It's going to be a really nice day. Had a great weekend as well.
Very nice outside.
It was indeed. Did a little rummage sailing. I didn't pick up. I actually picked up things I could use.
Oh, that's
Traditionally,
good.
I pick up things I don't need.
Right.
And then, Amber's
That's
like,
like
"Why, do you
traditional
really need
rummage
that?"
sale.
She's
You
like,
gotta
"Do you
get
really
something.
need that?" I'm like, "No, but I want it." And then it just
Exactly.
sits somewhere. But hopefully you've had some good deals this weekend. And if you didn't, don't worry. We're also in the peak of rummage sale season in the 4 states. And another nice day ahead of us. Let's take a look outside downtown Pittsburgh. Again, it looks great. It's still obviously a little dark. Eventually sun will come up. We have clear skies across the region. MoDOT camera, 20th and Rangeline. Either that car teleported or it froze. It could be either way, really, this day and age, but otherwise looking pretty good this morning. We do have some patchy fog out there. In fact, visibilities have improved across northeastern Oklahoma, but down by Miami, Grove, Anderson, Joplin, Yates Center, Iola. Really, Iola has the lowest visibility, but that's still not bad at 6.8 miles. But you want to watch out for those occasional areas of patchy, dense fog that might show up here and there. And you all know the drill at home. Low beams, not your high beams, fog lights if you've got them. Our Monday shaping up to be absolutely gorgeous. It's a shame 3-day weekends aren't a thing for everybody, because today would be a great day to have off as well. We'll start to see a few clouds though as we head into the afternoon. We'll initially be mostly clear, and we'll start to go partly cloudy through the afternoon into the evening hours, but otherwise will remain dry. And in fact, these clouds, even though they increase a bit this afternoon and evening, they'll clear back out overnight tonight ahead of our rain chances heading into Tuesday. Temperatures a bit chilly still, especially for May. 45 in Joplin, 46 in Pittsburgh, and across the region. You can see temperatures, again, mid-chilly. We're starting to see some low 40s out there. Most of us, though, the mid-40s, but again, a few cool spots, absolutely. Temperatures today, fantastic. Partly cloudy skies, beautiful day, light and variable winds, highs into the low 70s. Just a fantastic textbook day out there. Just beautiful across the area. As I mentioned, though, rain chances do begin to increase heading into tomorrow. We'll go over those details, talk about how long that rain lasts here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, we'll see you soon, Chris. Well, KCU Joplin celebrated its 2025 graduating class Sunday morning at Missouri Southern State University's Liggett and Platt Athletic Center. More than 150 graduates gathered early for photos and final moments together before walking into the auditorium to join family, friends, and faculty. Nearly half of this year's graduating class will be entering primary care, helping to address a critical shortage of doctors across the country. Graduates and faculty were available for interviews before and after the ceremony, sharing their experiences and future plans.
Excited, relieved, has so many emotions going on right now. It's been a long journey to get here. I mean, I started college back in 2017, And here we are, 2025, finally finishing up school for the last time. So it's been a long journey to get here, but I'm glad to be out in the world.
Guests were reminded that the Circle Drive in front of the Athletic Center was closed to accommodate ADA accessible parking. Well, the Pittsburgh community came together to celebrate Cinco de Mayo over the weekend. The event, hosted by Pittsburgh Hispanic Bandana and Hispanics of Today, brought a mix of culture, music, and food to Southeast Kansas. Guests enjoyed 2 hours of live performances, including folk dances showcasing the rich heritage behind the holiday.
We kind of want to build those ties with the community and say, like, hey, we're here. Like, this is an event. This is like a little sneak peek of what we plan to do for La Celebración in September, the start of Hispanic Heritage Month. So this is kind of like a little sneak peek, and we want to grow and like kind of build a bridge with the relationship of the community, because we need a lot of community help. And this whole event is for the community, just to spread our culture, our food, our music, our dances, and things like that.
Families, students, and community members gathered for an afternoon of fun, connection, and culture pride, making this Cinco de Mayo a celebration to remember. Well, Special Olympics hosted its very first free basketball camp for individuals with intellectual developmental disabilities. 3 high schools, Galena, Erie, and Pittsburgh, had volunteers step up to help with the event. The sessions were designed to not only build important skills like teamwork, but also to let participants have fun and stay active.
Keeping the kids a smile on their face, helping them to understand that the goals that we set before them, they're able to reach them and continue just to be better people. Just being able not to be afraid to use your gifts and the abilities that God has given you to be able to pour into another, whether that be the youth, young adult, or old. It doesn't really matter.
Some of the drills included coordination exercises and a dribbling relay. Around 30 kids showed up. OK Kids Day took place Saturday at Lakeside Park in Pittsburgh. The family-friendly event offered different activities like a fishing derby, canoeing, and several other kids' games. Pittsburgh State Recreation students were on site assisting with games and getting themselves involved with the community.
I think it's very beneficial to everyone, because you're like coming out here, the kids are making new friends or doing fun activities, and it's also nice for us Pitt State students because we get a chance to actually engage into the community and like get a real feel of what we could be doing in the future.
The local Guardians of the Children chapter gave out free hot dogs to kids in attendance. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Hundreds of tourists were forced to evacuate after flash floods hit the archaeological city of Petra. Plus, a missile sent by Houthi rebels hits Israel's main airport. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Well, topping World Watch, Cardinals attended their final day of morning masses for Pope Francis yesterday evening. The Vatican's guidelines for the burial of a pope call for 9 days of morning masses before the Cardinals begin the conclave that will decide the next leader of the Catholic Church. French Cardinal Dominique Mamberti presided over yesterday's Mass. 133 cardinals are eligible to participate in the conclave, which is set to begin on May 7th. This is the largest number of cardinals ever to take part in the tradition. They come from 71 different countries. Well, tariffs could be debuting at a movie theater near you. President Donald Trump says a 100% tariff should be enacted on any films made in a different country. The president says the film industry is dying in America because other countries are offering better incentives, such as large tax breaks to studios. The Commerce Department and the U.S. Trade Representative have been tasked with enacting the tariff, but it's unclear how it will be enforced and what will be included in the order. Well, hundreds of tourists evacuate an ancient city in Jordan. Tourists left Petra Sunday after heavy rains caused flash floods. The Jordan news agency says the evacuation and suspension of entry into the city was done as a precautionary measure. Most of the 1,785 tourists who visited the area were forced to leave. Jordanian authorities say no tourists were hurt. Israel was unable to intercept a missile fired from Yemen before it hit near an airport yesterday, forcing a brief shutdown of flights. Madeline Rivera has more from Washington, D.C.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says they will respond to the Houthi attack near Ben Gurion Airport at a time and place of their choosing. Sirens sent people at Ben Gurion scrambling for cover. There were several attempts to intercept the missile, but Israel's Arrow and the United States THAAD missile defense systems were not able to stop it. The impact set off a plume of smoke and left a crater on the ground. Israeli officials say several people were hurt, though no one was killed. Flights, trains, and road traffic were also briefly halted. They have since resumed. Still, some international airlines, including Lufthansa, Delta, and Swiss, have canceled their flights to Israel. This marks a major security breach for Israel. The Houthis have been ramping up their attacks after the ceasefire in Gaza ended in March. Israel has not responded militarily since the U.S. began its campaign of strikes against the Houthis March 15th. That will likely change now. But Benny Gantz, the leader of the centrist opposition party, says it's Iran that must ultimately be held accountable. The attack raising concerns it could escalate the conflict with Iran.
I am very worried. Obviously, Iran is bad actors in the region. The best thing we could do to stand up against Iran would be for Israel to end the conflict in Gaza, get the hostages back.
This comes as Israel is considering expanding its operation in Gaza. The Israeli Defense Forces is calling up thousands of reservists as part of the plan.
That's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News just after 5:45 on this Monday morning. Starting with the fog tracker, which again, we've seen some improvements in northeast Oklahoma, not so much in Iola. Visibility's come down a little bit again, just below 6 miles out there. So not overly dense fog out there, but still some reduced visibilities. And you folks at home know the drill. Low beams, not your high beams. Fog lights if you've got them. And of course, always be mindful of that potential for patchy, dense fog, especially in low-lying areas across the region. That's really all we have to deal with today. Outside of that, we're looking at clear skies to start our day. As we head into the afternoon, clouds begin to gradually increase and will start to go partly cloudy across the region by late this through the afternoon and into the evening hours. By late this evening, though, believe it or not, those skies turn around and clear back out. We are clear overnight tonight, and it will be mostly clear to partly cloudy to start our Tuesday. And as we head through late Tuesday morning into the afternoon, showers, thunderstorms begin building in. So, of course, clouds will increase through the morning hours. Will be mostly cloudy outside of the rain chances, and by noon, you can see through southeast Kansas into northeastern Oklahoma, we start to see some of those showers out there. Heading to the evening around 5, continue with some scattered showers and storms. Some good news at this point, no severe weather is expected. In fact, through the week with our rain chances, there's nothing screaming severe on the long-range data, which is good news. We've had enough of that so far through the month of April. But showers, storms will be possible. They'll continue overnight Thursday into Wednesday morning. And throughout the day Wednesday, we're looking at mostly cloudy to cloudy skies. We'll have some scattered showers and storms. Our storm chances are better tomorrow than what they are Wednesday, but we could still continue to see isolated to widely scattered showers and storms through the day and into the overnight hours again from Wednesday night into Thursday morning. But again, nothing severe is expected at this point. For our Monday, though, clear skies already, and we'll continue with clear skies through the morning into the low 50s by 8, and then we'll be right around the mid 60s by 11 o'clock this morning. Ahead of our highs today, heading into the low 70s with those partly cloudy skies. Winds will be light and variable. We put calm because, as I mentioned earlier, light and variable doesn't really fit in that little box down there. Same into the evening, light and variable winds. Skies will eventually turn around and clear out overnight. We'll have clear skies. We'll be a bit chilly again into the upper 40s and low 50s across the region. And then over the next few days, we continue with shower and thunderstorm chances that will go again starting tomorrow through Wednesday into Thursday. Chances lower Thursday. It looks to be similar to Wednesday. More of a cloudy day, but scattered storms does keep us cooler as well into the upper 60s Wednesday and Thursday. A few showers to start the day on Friday, and then otherwise not bad. Warming up into the weekend and almost a repeat of what we had this weekend into today. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, clear skies skies out there. Temperatures upper 70s, some low 80s. And we've got additional shower and thunderstorm chances next week that we definitely want to keep an eye on once again, as we are in severe weather season. Any storm chances we get, we want to monitor. But the good news is, at least over the next few days, not anticipating any severe weather with the activity we're seeing this week. Let's check your forecast. We'll be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Well, today in entertainment news, a star who was in a terrible accident and a program about learning to prevent accidents. Here's David Daniel with the Hollywood Minute.
Things have gotten more complicated.
Jeremy Renner is talking about why he turned down a second season of his 2021 Disney Plus series Hawkeye. The actor, who spent months recovering from a near-fatal snowplow accident in 2023, told the High Performance podcast he was offered half of his season 1 salary for season 2. Renner said, I'm sorry, why? Did you think I'm only half the Jeremy because I got ran over? The Hollywood Reporter says a Disney insider disputed the claim but gave no details.
An experiment never done before.
We don't know what's going to happen.
Fictional vehicles.
The Nova special Ultimate Crash Test looks at a first-of-its-kind experiment analyzing multi-vehicle highway pileups. Part 1, Countdown, shows the experiment, while Part 2, Impact, goes into the investigation and forensic analysis, looking for clues on improving driver behavior and vehicle design. Nova Ultimate Crash Test premieres Wednesday on PBS, PBS.org, and the PBS app and YouTube channel. Buckling up in Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Well, as Cardinals prepare to start choosing a new pope this week, a tailor in Rome is busy getting the pontiff's wardrobe ready. Tina Kraus shows us.
With each sacred stitch, Raniero Mancinelli knows he's not just crafting clothing, he's making history at his tailoring shop in the shadow of the Vatican. He's dressed the last 3 popes and has his work cut out for him, with cardinals set to pick a new pope as early as next week. The day he goes onto the balcony, he says this robe must fit as perfectly as possible. Mancinelli is creating a range of options in small, medium, and large. He says the late Pope Francis preferred common cloth, not too expensive, just a normal fabric. But for Pope Benedict XVI, it was a different story. He favored heavier, more regal robes. With cardinals crowding Rome for the conclave, Mancinelli says he's already made sashes for some, but he's refusing to stitch any red robes for now. He says some cardinals asked for red, and I said, "Eminence, are you sure? You might need white." Once the smoke from the Sistine Chapel clears, Mancinelli says he'll be happy to make a flawless fit for the new pope, whoever he may be. Tina Kraus, CBS News, London.
Now, Mancinelli has had his tailoring shop in Rome since 1962, and he first started making clothes for the clergy as a joke, but ended up liking it and now specializes in it. Stick around, we'll be right back. Well, Apple hopes to bring Android users into the fold and keep other iPhone users with new styled releases. A report by The Information, a technology-focused business publication, says Apple is changing around how iPhones will be released next year in order to introduce the first foldable iPhones to the market. Now, the report says the foldable iPhone may debut along with the 18 Pro and Air iPhone models next year. The report adds foldables will be a book style rather than what's called clamshell, and says the screen will be 8 inches when fully opened, and it will employ Face ID instead of Touch ID. Well, pop star Lady Gaga treats fans to a free concert. Lady Gaga performed in front of at least 1 million fans at the Copacabana Beach in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Saturday night for what is now considered the biggest show of her career. The pop star began the concert at 10:10 p.m. local time and sang all of her hits, including Poker Face, Alejandro, and more. The big concerts are part of an effort led by Rio's City Hall to boost economic activity. Rio City Hall said they expected 1.6 million people to attend Lady Gaga's concert and also expect the show to drive around $106 million into Rio's economy.
Certainly nothing like a free concert, especially when it still finds a way to benefit the local area. I've never really been to a real concert. I know, I'm not very cool, but that's okay. Our temperatures are very cool, and they are a bit chilly this morning. We got a lot of mid-40s out there. We'll eventually be in the low 50s by 8, mid-60s by 11 o'clock this morning. Skies starting clear, and then as we head into the afternoon, we'll start to see a few extra clouds out there, heading for partly cloudy skies. We'll have temperatures into the low 70s today, and our winds light and variable, so nothing too crazy to worry about. Into the evening, believe it or not, skies will actually clear out again overnight. We'll be clear tonight, chilly again, upper 40s, low 50s, light and variable winds, and then the clouds begin to return right before sunrise tomorrow. And as we head through late morning and into the afternoon, scattered showers and thunderstorms begin building in. We'll have thunderstorm chances scattered at least from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday into early Friday, and then we'll clear out by Friday afternoon and into the weekend. No severe weather expected, which is great news, and we're much warmer this weekend, 70s and maybe even some 80s. Let's check your forecast. We're back with more right after this.